Hi there, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this laboratory report for September 2024 for the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. September started off with a very new but a very dear friend, Emmanuel, who came in from Europe. He had to stay here in order to get an affordable flight from Europe. He had to stay here from like August 29th or 28th or something until the end of classes. So he was here and lived with us for a long time, and he was able to help me in the lab before the immersion study started on September 6th, which was impeccable because Noriana and I had a ton of stuff to do. We had to rearrange parts of the lab, get which labware pieces we wanted out, set up all the tables, do all the things. There was a lot of rearranging and a lot of other things in order to be able to accommodate the 11 students that we had here. That was absolutely fantastic though, and from September 6th through 12th, we had 2 immersion studies back to back. Most of the students stayed for the entire time. I think we had an exchange after the first class of 3 people that left and then a few more people coming in. So it was a really awesome class, but the vast majority of people stayed for the entire week, and that was fantastic. The food Nori made for lunch every day was outstanding. The students were all exceptional. We had some really cool movers and shakers and some folks from all different types of diverse backgrounds, and so it was really great. And the information was solid. We just had a good time with everyone, so that was awesome. Right before the immersion study started though, I was playing around with some Shilajit production methods. For those of you who haven't heard, our Shilajit supplier and harvester just decided he didn't want to do this anymore and just kind of dropped us as a client and dropped my very good friend DJ Inkenbrandt from Chintamani Tonics as a client too. And we were both supplying North American Shilajit to just about all of the major companies that are selling it in the entire world. And unfortunately, he just decided he didn't want to work so hard. So he's cut us off as clients so that he can just focus on a small little bit of retail, and that kind of put us up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. So what we've done is entered into research and development, both of us, determining the very best ways of producing Shilajit. We took it as an opportunity not just to reproduce the high quality product that we had, but to really just hit the drawing board again and say, if we could do it any way that we possibly could, how would we do it? What is going to produce the very best results? So I've been in R&D with this for a couple of months. Yeah, I definitely started on some really fun ways of processing, and I haven't landed on anything final yet. We're getting tripped up really in our filtration phase. There's a lot of technicalities to it, but we're kind of getting tripped up during the filtration phase, so it'll still be a good couple of months before I make any progress there. But once we do, we'll rebrand, or rather keep the same brand, but relabel, because our product will no longer be made the same way as what it has been for the last couple of years. So at any rate, I've been working pretty hard on that. I also made a 450 ml batch of a fortified hemp spagyric tincture with CBD isolate, as well as adding back some terpenes that I had distilled. The terpenes are basically just the essential oils from the plant, and when I lived in Portland, I had an abundance of cannabis available to me because I was growing it, and so I was constantly distilling essential oils. We just finally ran out of this, but this fortified hemp spagyric formulation that we're making that has, a hemp spagyric tincture, basically CBD isolate, and these terpenes added back in a very particular ratio, is one of the things that I'm running some clinical trials on a couple of clients as well as myself. And so far it seems to be absolutely outstanding, not just for reducing organ and tissue inflammation, but specifically for reducing cell membrane inflammation. And that was one of the main things that we were going for. So we're very excited about this. Once we launch back up again, this might be one of the products that we focus on and that we offer. But the jury's still out on that. There's still more clinical research to do and more studies that we need. So we also ended up performing final filtration on several spagyric tinctures, and we've released those. An email just went out maybe a week or 2 ago announcing which ones had been put into the apothecary. We're almost through the stack of finished spagyric tinctures that I've made. I think I have maybe 9 to 12 of them left, maybe a few more than that, but not many more. that need to be finished before we go, or at least have salts added to them before we go. And so we are very much so in the processes of wrapping all of that up. Unfortunately, the ones that I'm still working on will not be released and be available to you guys at least until we decide to reopen up the apothecary, which is an if/when situation. I'll get around to that here in just a minute. Let's see, after our immersion study was over on the 12th, I needed a few days break. Personally, I had been going very consistently for months at that point, but then I got right back into working on the 2025 calendar. That is nearing completion at the present time. I was hoping to already have it done by October 1st, but of course, all of the other lab tasks and other things definitely prevented me from doing that. So it's nearing completion. Let's see, I was also performing IDF analysis and sending broadcasts, as well as charging talismans for all of our Eliminate Ens Mahike and Entities clients. Really excited that service has taken off the way that it has, actually. I didn't know when I created it as an idea as to how many people would jump on it, but boy, has that kept me busy. Almost every single day, in fact, every single day, I am either analyzing numerous clients or running updates on them or sending broadcasts or charging talismans. There has not been a single day that I have not been doing that since, what would that be, September 13th. So very, very awesome, and thank you so much to all of those of you who are supporting that research and getting that work done. I've also started recording season 3 podcast episodes for the Alchemiculture podcast. Just like we did in season 2, we're recording all of the podcasts ahead of time, and then we'll go ahead and be releasing them kind of once every 2 weeks, probably starting sometime in November, although we have a loose timeline with that. It could be December. We're not exactly sure, but we're going to go ahead and start releasing those as soon as they're all recorded. And I'm also re-recording an intro and some new ad sets and other things like that, just kind of keeping things fresh. So I still have a little bit of work over here to do. And on top of this, we've also been coordinating all of the cells, especially to clean out the apothecary. We've been creating our moving strategy, which is absolutely insane and takes up a lot of time, and also working on a number of IDF clients on the top of that, in addition to trying to get into the lab, doing whatever R&D work that I can, and managing the staff and all the other things that we have to do. So September was crazy. And in fact, that's my next point was September was exceptionally busy. I always say that we've done a lot, which we always do over here, but September was definitely turning that on overdrive, and for the entire month, in fact. And things at the present moment, as I'm making this video, have absolutely no sign of slowing down anywhere in the near future, at least until we arrive and get settled into our new spot. Which I'm very much so looking forward to, just so that I can have actually a wee bit of downtime and to enjoy the winter and enjoy the forest and whatever else. So definitely need that. But the amount of work that Noriana and I have been doing and taking on in order to prepare for this move and to coordinate it and everything else is just insane. And trying to wrap up all these projects, and there's multiple different projects that always have timelines, and it kind of starts and goes like this. Well, now that there's an end date, there's all of these projects that are all finishing all at the same time. And to see them through to their completion has been, a headache isn't the right word, a migraine isn't the right word. I don't know exactly what it's been, but it has been very intense. Alas, as a final announcement, this is going to be our final month in business, at least for a little while. Of course, we're going to have to close down the business registration as it exists in Utah and then reopen up, but we have a lot of options available to us. We might decide to actually reestablish our business as a nonprofit research organization. There might be a lot of different things. One thing I know is that I've been way too busy for way too many years. I've been running myself ragged, just doing all of the research and coordinating everything and doing all of the different parts of things. And so there's a very good chance it will simplify. But what that looks like, I won't really know till I have the time to kind of think about it and let everything settle in and decide what direction I really want to take things. Of course, I'm always going to be a researcher, and of course, I'm always going to publish my research and get my research out there. But whether I'm going to be doing it in the same ways as what we have been doing it over the last 5 years, 6 years, or whatever, still remains to be seen. So there might be some big changes, but we really don't know. And along with that, we don't know if or when the apothecary is going to open back up in the same capacity that we've had it. I'm kind of more leaning towards making a bunch of different spagyric formulations that kind of cover a broad, vast set of different types of wellness complaints, symptoms, etc., that people deal with, and leaning very heavily on intrinsic data field work, because that's actually where my passion is, and that's what I feel is the most sustainable. And it's also something that I feel is actually infinitely more useful than just selling tinctures and letting people buy whatever tinctures they want and play around with it. From a medical angle and a medicinal perspective, I want to put in the least amount of effort for the most amount of reward, or the most amount of success and efficacy. And so it's going to take some time, and I've got all winter to kind of do some soul searching and stuff. But that leads me to my point. By the time this video releases, you will only have maybe a day, maybe 2 days of a sale left where you can purchase any of the items in our spagyric apothecary. It is not guaranteed that any of these items will ever be available again. They might be. It stands to reason that because I have still a very large apothecary, that we might end up opening up the apothecary as it currently exists, or what items have not sold out. But there is an equal chance that I may just keep those for myself in my own apothecary, my own research purposes, and start to make a few different key formulations and things like that. So at any rate, if you are interested in picking anything up that we have right now, it may be the last chance you ever have. I really don't know. I don't know what the future is going to hold. And things from an economic perspective and political perspective in this country seem more uncertain than ever. So I strongly suggest getting what you can while you can, because they may not be around again, ever again. We don't know. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for supporting us over the last 6 years as we've been in this space in particular, and as we have worked so hard on numerous different IDF wellness research programs, as we worked on numerous different spagyric programs, as I spent 5 years of our time here just deep diving back into the simplest and most easy item of spagyric pharmacopoeia, and also the most available and affordable, which would be spagyric tinctures, and creating all of the resources here. Once I get to West Virginia, one of the things that I'm going to definitely do with my downtime is continue working on my book, which unfortunately, because we've been moving and other things, I've had virtually no time to actually work on it. It sits at about 2/3 completion right now, so I'll be focusing on that, probably getting that out, and moving at a much slower pace. Of course, it's going to be necessary for us to do that just because everything is so far away from our new facility. But it's mostly something that I need for my mental well-being. Moving at the pace that we have been has been really awesome from the outside looking in and seeing all the progress that's being made, but from the inside looking out, it's exhausting. I've been running essentially a marathon for years now, and it's just time for a change of pace and change of life. So very excited for that. For all of our new neighbors who have welcomed us with open arms to Appalachia, thank you so much. To all of the neighbors that we're leaving behind here in my home state of Utah, we again thank you so much. To all of you who have supported us over the years and have enjoyed our products and our services and other things, thank you again so much. And please keep an eye out for what we do in the future, because I'm not sure how it's going to shape out, but I know it's going to be absolutely fantastic and the most refined and best way of pushing forward possible. I can guarantee you that. That's just the way that I work. So at any rate, I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart and from all of us here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. And this will be the very last lab update that you see for a while, possibly ever. So we again thank you so much. Keep well, stay safe. Many blessings of happiness and health to you and yours.